Hey everybody, Brad here. I know this is not the usual podcast opening, but this was not the usual week. If you're in the Discord, you might have seen my message saying that we were having a little bit of trouble finding time to get the new show in the can. But Carlos and I finally did manage to find a slot in both of our schedules, which worked. We got the bulk of the show recorded. Unfortunately, we were both under a lot of time pressure, and we didn't have as much free time during the day as we usually do. So I ended up having to cut two games that I planned on talking about this week. So I'm going to go ahead. Carlos is already done. He bounced. I bounced. I've actually been doing a couple things recently. So we stopped recording a while ago. But I decided to come back and do this extra little bit so I can get these two games off of my schedule for this week, because I've already got a pretty full schedule next week. And I don't want to keep bumping games down the road. So just bear with me for a few minutes. I'm going to get through these first two games, and then we're going to cut to the regular opening of the show. Then it's going to be a full episode, and we'll wrap as normal. So this beginning part is really the only weird part. So let's get to the games. First up, Ereban Shadow Legacy. This one came out a while ago on PC, and I guess it's just now coming to consoles, I suppose. Just got sent a code from publisher recently, so thank you very much for that. I'm not sure what triggered it. Maybe there's a deluxe version or something, but I was happy to check it out. This is a third-person stealth adventure game where you play a character who is an Ereban. That is what that person is. Looks basically like a human in a mask, and you are in some kind of world where this mega corporation has like cornered the market on energy, and they basically like own everything. But there's, lots of story going on about how the corporation isn't what it seems, and there's, nefarious things afoot. So you start the game and you don't really quite know what's going on, but you are this Ereban person and you're going through the training orientation for the evil company. Now you are a special person. Most people, I guess, in this world are just apparently humans, but you have a special ability to interact with shadows. So for example, if you are in a shadow, you don't have any powers in the sun, but if you're standing in a shadow, you can turn yourself into a shadow and like disappear. So you like just blend into the shadow. No one can see you. No one can grab you. You can do a leap. And if you're leaping to a shadowy place, you can kind of warp over to it. When you're a shadow, you can climb up walls, up any surface, basically, as long as there is a shadow on it. And then, you can use that to sneak behind people and pop up and one-shot them, like stealth kill. You can get on top of a wall and do like an extra long jump to kind of get to places. So you're pretty powerful from the start in terms of stealth. Things go south in your orientation. Turns out the corporation's actually after you, yada yada. I bet you all saw that coming a million miles away, which is fine. So what the game boils down to is like, actually, I'm kind of surprised to the degree at which it is kind of an environmental puzzle game. The first major area past the tutorial is kind of like this like abandoned, I don't know, canyon, old kind of like mesa type environment. And so you see a bunch of robot guards all over the place, and there's shadows all over the place. And so you kind of like stealth around going from shadow to shadow. You can duck behind things, and if you get behind the robots, you can one-shot them. If they find you, they one-shot you. So there's a little bit of stakes, I guess, and you really have to prioritize not getting caught. But I will say this game puts you, the player, as a very powerful character. The ability to instantly blend into any shadow and disappear is super strong for a stealth game. It's crazy strong. Like, honestly, so like I'm not complaining, right? Like I'm not complaining because the traditional pattern of any game is you start off super underpowered, you fight your way up, you unlock things on the skill tree, and then 2 hours before you roll credits, you finally are pretty strong, right? So this shadow power, this feels like an end game shadow power. Like maybe you've been playing for 12, 15 hours already. You found the power-ups, you unlock some stuff on the skill tree, and now you've done it. You've unlocked the badass power, and now you're a motherfucker, right? That's what it feels like. So to feel that way from the start is interesting and a very unusual choice. And I mean, I'm fine with it. I think it's cool. I will say though, it is mega OP. And so it's like pretty trivial to kill anybody because all you got to do is wait for them to walk near a shadow, and then you're in the shadow, you jump out, kill them. I mean, it's pretty easy. So most of the challenge, I guess, comes from figuring out the environment. Like, where am I supposed to go? The game gives you kind of vague hints. Like sometimes you can see something in the distance where you need to get to, but you don't quite know how to get there. Maybe there's a winding path, or maybe there's guards between you and there, or maybe there's a couple puzzles. You got to lower a bridge, or you got to figure out how to climb up something or whatever. And it's actually shocking, like how much of the game has been, I mean, kind of like you get to an area, pretty easy to take out whatever guards are nearby. Even if there's a lot of guards, pretty easy to take them out because you're so strong with the shadow power. You just vanish, they can't see you, they turn around, boom, dead. You know, you go up a wall, you drop on them from above, boom, dead. I mean, so, and again, not complaining, but I think it's an interesting choice to make your character so strong from the start. Which is fine. It definitely puts a focus on the environmental. And so you're using your shadow powers to be like, how do I get up to the next level? Oh, wait, here's a wall that's flat and it's also in shadow. That must be a surface. I'm going to slide up that like a shadow, pop out at the top. Maybe there's a door up there or something. Or maybe there's a ledge. You get up to a ledge as a shadow. And then when you get to the peak, you do a special jump and jump extra far out of the shadow, and that catapults you to where you need to go. So you spend a lot of time just on navigation, which is not what I expected, but it's pretty cool. I think it's kind of cool. So I think it's interesting to kind of, I mean, I don't want to say negate the value of like spending time being sneaky. You definitely still have to be sneaky, but it's not like some stealth games where you're like agonizing over hiding and watching out for enemy view cones, and you're looking for like a split second break in someone's pattern to like dash through. It's not that sweaty at all. I mean, I think you've got a lot of leeway, and you can basically hide infinitely whenever you want to in the shadows. So it's really more about clear out an area as kind of a breathing, you know, a breath of fresh air, a break from the environmental puzzles, and then you get back to the environmental puzzles. Because I noticed most of my time is just the area is empty because I killed everybody pretty quickly. And now I'm like, damn it, how do I get up to that fucking ledge? Or like, I got to get to this bridge. Where the fuck is the switch for the thing? And I'm looking around. So it's got a different rhythm and a different flavor to it. And I think it's interesting. I'm not anywhere near close to it. I think I'm just like in the first third of the game. And so just kind of going through this and seeing the rhythms the game presents and like the different focus is unusual and surprising. And I'm curious to see where it goes. I don't really care about the lore of the game. I'm not really into the story very much. There's lots of story you can absorb, some notes you can pick up, like museum pieces you can look at and read some backstory and stuff. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. But I think the game itself is interesting, and I'll be curious to see how it develops. But if you are a stealth gamer or a platformer or like an action, real-time third-person action person, this might be worth a look because I think it definitely brings a focus and a flavor that is slightly different than you would be led to believe from the trailers or the screenshots. This feels like, I mean, it almost feels like, and I don't mean this in any insulting way at all. This is a compliment. It kind of feels like a hidden gem that you would play like on the 360 back in the day, where you're like, oh, okay, third person action, and they got this cool hook where you're in the shadows, but it's really about like the navigation and not about the stealthing so much. And like, it's just got this weird kind of experimental vibe to it, which I kind of dig. So I think overall pretty interesting stuff, and I like this new approach to it. So I'm kind of into it. This is Ereban Shadow Legacy, playing it on the PS5. I believe it's on everything right now. All right, last game of this impromptu intro is a demo on the PC of all things, Fame or Folly. Was tipped off to this one from John over at Gaming in the Wild. Good man John there. Thought this might be of interest, so I'm checking it out. And it does take a little something special to get me on the PC. That is a fact. John was not wrong on this one. I think it's pretty cool. It's a little bit hard to describe, but it's kind of like a deck builder where it's got like a medieval theme. And I feel like it's kind of analogous to like, I don't know, like blackjack maybe? Blackjack cross, yeah, more blackjack than solitaire, I think. I'm not like a master of card games, so excuse me if I'm getting my games mixed up here. But basically, each card is represented by a character. They have like drunkards, which have negative status. They have bards, which have good status. They have some characters which have both. I think some of the guards have both good and bad. And so what you want to do is you're on a caravan and you're going through a series of stages. And each stage has a specific points value. So if you played something like Clover Pit or Balatro or something like that recently, you'll see echoes of it here for sure. So like the first level, the first area will have like a limit of like 400. The next one is like 1200. The next one is like 3600 or something like that. And so how this works is you have your deck of cards, you deal your cards, and what you want to do is you want to get some good synergies and point values going from your positive cards. At the same time, you don't know what you're going to get, so you might draw a negative, and you can only have 7 points of negative before you bust. So let's say like you draw like a bard, everybody likes a bard, that's cool. You draw a shopkeeper, and everybody likes, shopkeeper. Those are like 2 positives, so you got some positive points going. And then you draw like a drunkard, and you go, oh no, like a negative point going. And so you've got a balance going back and forth between positive and negative. You can't control it, but you got to keep an eye on it. So at some point you have to decide, how many points do I have on the board that are positive? Can I afford to draw any more? Because if I hit 7 negative points, the whole thing goes bust. And at the end of the round, you want to have a bunch of positive cards on the board, plus any multipliers that may be in play. So for example, you can buy some extra items. You can have good synergies between people. I think one of the synergies I had was like a bard would get extra points if there was like a shopkeeper on the board. So if you had both those cards on the board, you would get like a points bonus. And so you have to kind of, figure out, look at what's on your board, figure out if it's when you want to hold, because you don't want to bust. And then when you're ready to, you think you're as good as you're going to do and you don't want to risk anymore, you hit the button, it tallies up your points, and you go to the next night. I believe each location has, 6 nights or something like that. So you've got basically 6 rounds to get to the point value. Again, very similar to like Clover Pit or Balatro or something like that. If you've played any of these recent like poker / gambling / point value kind of games, I don't even know what you even call this genre. The Balatro likes, I guess. I mean, that seems kind of fair. That's the one that kind of broke it open for everybody. So after the end of a round, you get a chance to take your winnings and buy new cards. And so you want to buy cards that have synergies with the cards you already have in your deck. You can have a basic limit of 12. If you want to add more cards past 12, it's really expensive. And so you're kind of incentivized to be very choosy about the cards that you pick. And so you want to make sure you got, I'm playing the demo here, so I didn't know what the fuck I was doing the first couple times. No big deal. But like, I could already see strategies kind of forming in my mind of like, okay, maybe I'm going to go for like a shopkeeper deck, and I'm only going to buy shopkeepers, and I'm only going to buy people that synergize with shopkeepers. And if you start off with that in mind, it can like help make better choices as you go. You'll hit natural synergies more often. You can buy items that synergize with those as well. So, I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward in that sense, but that's not a bad thing at all. I think it's a good thing because, to be honest with you, I like these games. I like them okay. They're not my favorite genre, but I have fun with them. But I don't like when they get mega, mega, mega complicated. Like, when the statuses are like crazy. Like, oh, here's this one, which will synergize 3 times if you got the blue card, but only if you have drawn the half moon card. And then that one goes double if you've got this other, like, tide card and blah, 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 blah. Like, I like to be... It's a fine line to me between pleasant depth and overdoing it. And I think I've played a couple recently that kind of overdo it. So I like them to be approachable, straightforward. I like to feel as though I understand fully about what's going on the board. And for me, my little simple non-chess master brain, I think, a little simpler is better for me. Maybe other people like more depth, more complication. That's fine. Horses for courses, whatever you like. But for me, I liked the at least initial simplicity of this one. I'm sure it gets more complicated as you go. But I liked it so much. I liked the demo. Thought it was really fun music. I really like the graphics a lot. They are very cute pixel graphics. I think the presentation UI was very clean, very easy to understand, pretty good tutorial. I would like to play more. I probably won't play more because you guys know I'm not really a PC person. But if they take this one to the Switch, or if it comes to PS5 or Xbox, I definitely would be all over it. I would like to play more of this. I just don't like to play games with the PC. And that has everything to do with me and nothing at all to do with this game. I think Fame or Folly, the demo, was quite good, and I really enjoyed it. And I want to give a big thumbs up and thank you to John over at Gaming the Wild for putting it on my radar. I definitely wouldn't have known about it otherwise. So yeah, good times, good times. If you like Balatro, Clover Pit, any of those types, if anything I've said sounds interesting, go check out the demo. I'm sure it's probably on Steam right now, and it looks like a really good time. So right on, there you go. And that is the end of our impromptu intro. We're going to be getting to the actual pre-recorded intro of the show in just a minute. And I don't want to count my chickens before they're hatched, which is funny because I actually do have chickens, and I sometimes do count them. But just a quick side note for people who are interested in the behind-the-curtain peeks into the Soviet Games podcast. If you've been following the show for a while, you know that I record in my basement and that my basement wall has been really leaky for a while. I've been kind of battling it for the last few years. this was my first basement I've ever owned, I've ever lived in, and I wasn't really aware of how wet basements can be. I mean, I heard of it. You hear about it on TV, people talk, but until you have firsthand knowledge, you don't really grok like how much of an issue this can be, especially if you keep stuff that you value in the basement. If it's a big empty basement, I mean, okay, whatever, it's a mess, but fine. But if you keep stuff down there, stuff that you value, having water show up all the time is a problem. So I did a really shitty amateur patch job that when we first moved in, and it's just been leaking like a bitch just for like years and years, last 4 years at least. And so this was the year I decided I've had enough. I'm going to actually take some action on this. And so I made a big mess. I put up some tarps. I got some sealant. I got an automatic caulking gun. I got a whole bunch of stuff. And over the last week or so, my basement and my area has been an absolute fucking mess, disaster. It's been really depressing because it just looks like ruin down here. But I worked on the wall, got some chisels and hammers and worked on it, and goggles, and I had a mask, and I had chemicals, and I had scrubbers, and I had all this shit down here. And I'm not much of a handyman. I really don't enjoy doing this. But I went at it because I just need this fucker to stop leaking. So I went at it, and then I sealed it, did the work, and then all I could do was wait because it wasn't raining, and I had no idea if the patch was going to hold, right? So I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And today, I don't want to say we were blessed because that's not the right word, but we did get kind of a monsoon-like deluge, however you say that word. And it's raining like fuck right now, to the point that I've got rivers running through my yard. And so far, it's been maybe 6 or 8 hours so far, I haven't seen a single drop of water come down from the patch that I put on the wall. And I'm hoping against hope that it's going to hold. So I feel like maybe there's light at the end of this tunnel, folks. If you've been following me on the Leaky Basement saga, I feel like this saga may be coming to an end. And boy, am I fucking excited. So fingers crossed for me. Hopefully I didn't jinx anything by talking about it too soon. But I feel like the patch is going to hold. I hope it's going to hold. And I will keep y'all updated. I know this is super exciting hearing about my basement wall, but I know a couple of you have been asking. So if you're listening, now you know. And with that update, let's get to the show. Today's March 14th, 2026, and welcome to the 483rd episode of the So Videogames podcast. Here on the show, I talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. My name is Brad Galloway. I'm the one-man host of this show, although today I am two men. With me is man about town who can now see straight, Carlos Rodella.
I can see again.
I bring this up because you just got glasses.
Yeah, I had them, and then they weren't like the best, and they adjusted them, and now I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been missing so much.
They adjusted them when they put the lenses in?
No, the lenses were in, but it's just like, A, I'm not used to glasses, and then B, they were like a little bit too curved, and so they kind of flattened it out a little, because there's like a curvature number, 5, 6, 7, all that sure. stuff. Yeah. And so I'm not used to them at all, and so they made it closer to my readers, which were like 5. So basically now it's like, yeah, I can't really like see the curve anymore, and now I can just like see clearly.
Interesting. Okay. Well, How has life been now that you can see things?
Man, I gotta like shave and like now I can see myself, and I don't like it. I don't
You're like, oh, that's what I look like. Now I know.
By the way, I'm not even joking. That was a joke, but now I'm actually being serious because if I put my glasses on in the bathroom, I go like, this place is dirty. Because you notice all the little hairs and everything. And again, this is me from going from not seeing as well. And I'm like, I like clean my kitchen. I was like, this just crumbs everywhere.
That is so funny. You know what this reminds me of actually is a story. I went to go visit my wife's grandma before she died. She's dead now. But she was this like independent farm lady. Didn't take no shit from no man, like had her place out in Oregon, like in the wilds of Oregon. And we went to go visit her one time. She had like a horse ranch. She was raising birds and shit, just like all on her own. And she was like fucking 85 at the time or something crazy like that, right? Mm-hmm. So we go out to visit her and she's got like a barn and a coop and a horse thing and the house and everything. And we go out to stay with her for like a couple days and she makes like this like killer cherry pie. It's amazing. And so we're just like hanging out and I go to like the bathroom, and I'm like, what the? It's like dirty in here. Like, what the hell? Like, there's cobwebs. And I go to the barn. I'm like, holy shit! Like, has she never cleaned this thing? And it was so weird. But she, she was out and being active and doing things, and she's not that kind of person to like just let something slide like that. So I was like, what the hell's going on? Come to find out, like, she had lost her glasses, and so she couldn't see this. She couldn't see the stuff to clean up the cobwebs and to clean up the barn. I'm like, oh, she just can't see. Okay, that makes more sense now.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
And, so I understand her plight, but at the same time, it's like mine's not cobwebs, but it's more like just the little details of like, oh, I didn't really scrub this area, or this is like actually kind of dirty, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's weird, but I can
Seeing is weird. Eyes are weird.
Yes. I can see my video games on my PC screen better, but I'm nearsighted. Wait, no, I'm farsighted.
Okay.
So on my TV, when I just like play PlayStation, it's generally fine, but it's still not like the best, you know? And
so you were playing and you're like, oh my God, these graphics are so great.
No, yeah. What I think I might do is just an experiment, is sit a little closer to the TV and use my glasses.
Yeah.
Which I haven't done yet. And I'm like, because I don't want to be reliant on them, you know?
It'll be like going from like a PS5 to like a PS5 Pro. Like, except you just took a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
You were like,
but I don't need
the fidelity's amazing.
Yeah. Anyways, enough about vision. It's crazy.
Enough about vision. Also, full disclosure, as per usual, I ate some really spicy food right before the podcast.
Oh, man.
I was talking to the wife about what a joke it is, and I think it's just because I eat spicy food all the time. I don't think I eat it especially for the show. I think I just generally eat spicy food.
Yeah.
So that whenever the show happens, I very likely have had spicy food. Are you getting on this Korean noodles kick that is all the rage? Are you down with the Korean noodles?
I would eat them, but I'm not on a rage kick or anything of that matter.
Oh man, they've been really hot for a while now. It's one specific brand. It's called Bulldog noodles from Korea, South Korea. They have all sorts of flavors, and we really like them a lot. You got to cook them kind of a special way. It's kind of a pain, but like they're pretty good. And I just had the Tom Yum flavor, which is interesting because it's a Thai flavor, but it's on a Korean noodle. So I guess we got some semi-fusion, but really tasty, good stuff. If you like instant noodles and you want something a little different, the Bulldog noodles are pretty good. But watch out, that spice packet is no joke. I put a little bit too much in today. I usually put about half, and I put in, I think, more closer to 3/4. And my nose was running, and I was coughing, and I went blind for a few minutes, and I couldn't see.
Oh my goodness!
And I was like, "Oh, this is too spicy for me." So yeah, Bulldog noodles are really good. Heads up.
I'll check it out.
Check it out. Check it out.
Check it out.
All right, folks. Enough noodles. Enough glasses. Let's get to it. We're actually on a little bit of a time crunch today, so I'm going to forego some of the usual opening
I know.
nonsense.
I'm like, we're talking about glasses and food, and we have a short period of time to do a podcast.
People like the personality bits, though. A lot of people say
us.
they like that. You know, that's us. Yeah. They like to know that, well, you know, I cough because I'm spicy food and you're blind, and it makes us more human, more endearing.
Yes, we're more human than human.
There we go. Okay, let's get to it because we're on a little bit of a time crunch. Okay, housekeeping. I have a couple things. Carlos, what do you got for housekeeping?
Just real quick, I saw this morning, PS6 handheld.
What?
And yeah, I think that they're going to do a handheld to compete with Switch because obviously no one's been competing with them. And
but like in addition to a PS6, or that is the PS6?
I don't know. I just saw that as like a
addition.
headline. And it's supposed to be an addition, yeah. No, of course. They're like doing really well with PS5. But I think the idea is to like, you know, do both on one. So basically you play your games on either. And that would be pretty cool. And besides like the ROG Ally and those like, you know, PC, like Steam type handhelds, this would be like, you know, a true console like Switch. So anyways, I'm all for it. I just saw a headline and I'm like, yes.
I'm down for whatever. I'm not ready to buy a new console right now. I still feel like I got plenty of mileage left in my PS5 and even my Xbox X for that matter. I need to upgrade to the Switch too, but we'll, you know, not right now, but soon. But as far as the PS6 goes, I mean, I think having been such a big fan of the Switch, play it handheld, you dock it, you play it on the TV. I think bringing any of that kind of functionality to the PS6 would be very welcome. I mean, we live busy lives, we're on the go, but then you got home, you want to play something nice. I mean, I think just having more flexibility, I think is really good. And I don't want to play something on my phone and then, you know, whatever. I don't want like play anywhere bullshit. I want something that's dedicated to it.
Yep.
So if PlayStation does something like that, that would be great. And to be fair, they have done this before. I mean, I think the Vita was awesome.
I loved it.
PSP, awesome.
Loved
I mean,
it.
neither one of those were, I guess, as successful as Sony wanted them to be. But I mean, those are both great consoles with lots of great games, and I had really good memories and good times with those. I would love to do that again.
Remember, both of those were dedicated games for the handheld, and they weren't PlayStation games like proper, right? They weren't the originals. So this would be the first time they can do that, you know? So that makes a lot of sense. So I'm all for it, especially like, I'm going to mention this later today, but Crimson Desert, I'm playing a lot of, and if I could like bring that on the road with me, like say I go to, I'm going to do a trip at some point here and be in a hotel room and play the game, you know, the same game, the same save file. So yeah,
that would be cool.
And then the other thing was just real quick, the GTA 6 news, and I wanted to use it as a jumping off point for something I wanted to tell you and the audience. There was an extortion thing. You saw that, right?
No, I did not see that.
Oh, some group was like, "Hey, we got some of your data. We're going to give it out if you don't give us money."
For Rockstar, the GTA 6
Yeah,
stuff?
Rockstar, yeah.
Okay,
And Rockstar's like, "Fuck off!" Like, no, we're not going to give you anything. And so they're like, "Okay, well, here's all the stuff we have. We're just going to leak it." And they leaked it, and it's not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. It was like online user data, not users, but like online activity. Like how many users were on Red Dead Redemption Online, or how many were on GTA
so what? They're like mega successful. Like,
I know.
Look how awesome we are. What a burn. Like, so what?
So they had nothing.
I mean, they're lucky because Rockstar, out of all the people you could extort, Rockstar would send like hitmen after you, dude. Like they would whack you. Like why would you pick Rockstar of all people?
GTA. It's like in the name. It's like
they're gonna fucking come kill you, man. You're stupid. You got to hit up like Capcom or some indie developer or something. Not Rockstar.
No, don't go after indie developers. They need all the help they can get.
I mean, I'm just saying they probably can't afford hitmen. Rockstar, they probably got hitmen in the office, dude.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because, and I've talked to this with my buddy, is that GTA 6, just like Skyrim. These games that take forever to come out, and the budgets keep getting bigger and bigger. And because they go long in their development cycle, technology changes, right?
Yeah,
and that pushes the development cycle longer. And they're like, well, we could do this now. So it's just ridiculous. I'm over it. I'm making a whole video about it because I'm so frustrated with it. And in general, like these extortion things, all this, that original leak, do you remember they actually showed a bunch of gameplay? All that stuff wouldn't happen if you just released a freaking game. Like, you can do patches. You can do patches after. Like, that's what we live in now. We live in that kind of world. Like, patches happen, right? I just think it's ridiculous it takes this long. And they're going to might reach $1 billion or something in development cost. $1 billion?
Wow. I mean, believable. I mean, with the cost of everything these days. I mean, it is stupid. But no one could do that, and it wouldn't make sense for anybody except for GTA, right?
Okay. Maybe, I guess, but at the same time, here's my big point, and then we'll move on, is that life is short, and we talk about this a lot on the show, and we don't know when we're going to be gone from this life.
True.
And I'd like to have a bunch of game experiences. So if you have Rockstar working on one game for 20 years, and they spend $1 billion, all the people that want to play those games by Rockstar, they have nothing to play. They can't get new experiences. They could be releasing like Bully 2 or like, I don't know, these little other experiences that we can play instead of just like being silent for 20 years or whatever. Like, I don't know. I mean,
the upside of that is there's a bunch of games that aren't Rockstar games that you can go and experience. There's like a whole like 10,000 games get released every day, so you can explore those.
Of course, but it's a trend with big business. It's like, the ROI, the shareholder stuff. Like, what are we looking at? Microsoft and Bethesda. It's the same kind of thing, right? Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6. Who knows? Yeah. Right? But if Bethesda's by themselves, not, beholden to shareholders, and not in this weird cycle that's going on right now where everybody spends like $1 gazillion to hope to get $1 gazillion times 3 back, right? That's what this is really about.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're exactly right, dude. And that's why, I mean, we're kind of in this like unprecedented era where they're not even just really creating games, they're creating like money-making machines, Money-making machines. Like GTA Online was consistently in the top 10 for like ever since it's been out. And it's been out for what, 10, 15 years or something like that?
Yep.
It's like, I don't even understand who the fuck are they selling this game to? Who on earth doesn't have this game already? I feel like everybody owns like 5 copies of it because how do you even possibly sell this many games? But like, so they're not crafting a game, they're crafting this income revenue engine that's going to run for the next 10 or 15 years, and so it's worth it to them to delay as long as possible, to put as much money in as possible, because it's going to just print them fucking cash, and so few people out there, like every publisher wants that, but so few publishers can do that. And kind of same thing for, Bethesda to a lesser degree, of course, but like, people play Skyrim for fucking ever. And if they keep releasing stuff, they keep selling stuff. So they're like, yeah, let's take the time because this is like guaranteed income for the next decade. So let's make sure we get it right. And that's, I mean, plus or minus, love it or hate it or whatever. That's the kind of beast it is. And if you're on that train, go for it. I would much rather just play other things, and I could play 1,000 games in the time it takes GTA 6 to come out or whatever. But yeah, it's like a whole other scale we're talking about here.
You could, but there's not many open world like GTA type games. I'll talk about one later. But there's not many, and so it's like they could be releasing smaller games and give us those experiences because you can't get them elsewhere. Skyrim, Bethesda has a very special thing that they can do, and I think they kind of didn't do with Starfield, but like they did with Skyrim, and I would like that, and that other companies aren't providing that for me, Yeah. Anyways, it's a long road. I really just wanted to say the GTA 6 thing, I think it's taking too long, and that kind of stuff's going to happen because you take that long.
Question for you, Carlos, real quick, since we're kind of on the topic, and we don't have to get into this now, but I know that you were going to go back to Did you go back to Starfield, or did you not go back to Starfield?
I did. That should have been a look back or whatever. What's it called? Look back?
Circle back. We can talk about that in a second. If you have, I just wanted to check if you had or not. Okay.
Yeah, we could. Wow, we have such a long show and we don't have the time, but let's do it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. We have so much to talk about. We're not going to get
Starfield,
it. Okay.
I can tell you what I think. Did you go back?
No, fuck no.
Oh,
put a pin in that for 1 second because I got some housekeeping to do, and then we'll get to Starfield.
Okay, pin on it, yeah.
Okay, so let me talk about housekeeping real quickly. Just heads up, if you were waiting for the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe 2D Brawler, I think it's called the Dragon Pearl of Darkness or something. I know that's probably a small section of gamers. I'm super down for it. Carlos, He-Man fan? Yes, no?
Ish.
You remember it at least, right? From the 80s or whatever.
Yeah, I watched.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm a super fan. I'm looking forward to it. They just announced today that they're going to be delaying it until summer, so like a 3-month delay. Just heads up. I think that's fine. I think I think it was Miyamoto who said, it sucks to delay a game and people get depressed, but as soon as the game comes out, they forget about the delay. If you put out a game too early and it sucks, they remember that forever. Yeah, and I think that's pretty wise words. So I would much rather have them delay it 3 months. We got 10,000 other things to play. I would rather that game come out and it's perfect than have them ship it early and be really disappointed. So just heads up, 3-month delay there. A couple other things of housekeeping really quickly. Cairn from the Game Bakers, which I raved about back in January and is still in my top 10 absolutely, and just a pinnacle experience. They're putting out DLC, which like surprised the fuck out of me. I did not think they were going to... I mean, I don't even see a place to put DLC in this game. How do you even do that? I'm not even sure what's going on. But there is new DLC coming. It's called On the Trail Deep Water. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be, but they say it's going to be new climbing locations, fresh challenges, and some kind of story content where I guess you are following the footsteps of some other climber. It's going to be also some water element that wasn't in the first game. Apparently, there's new kinds of water where you fall into it and you don't die. There was water in Cairn number 1, but you couldn't like fall into it and survive. You usually just died or whatever. So they're changing that, I guess. Coming out summer for PC and PS5. The other big announcement this week, for me anyway, Graveyard Keeper. You know I love Graveyard Keeper, Carlos.
Yes, you love that game.
Love that fucking game. Still working my way through on my playthrough where I'm going to roll credits. They just announced Graveyard Keeper 2, and I'm like, no, I haven't finished number 1 yet, even though it's like 10 years old. They just announced it. I saw some screenshots, and the video looks pretty dope, and I'm kind of excited about it. But a couple things. Number 1, I haven't finished Graveyard Keeper 1 yet. I'm like 60 hours in. I got to probably put in another 60 hours before I finish it. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get back to it. So I want to finish that before I get to number 2. Also, there was a little bit of a kerfuffle because I didn't know this until like a couple days ago. But one of the leads of the studio, Lazy Bear Studios, who I actually love. I actually love like basically every game they've ever made has been really, really good. I guess he's like a total fucking Gen AI guy. He's like all into it, like doing experimental stuff, doing code, doing graphics like online and whatever, like on Reddit and on Twitter or whatever he's at. And I was like, no, I can't play Graveyard Keeper 2 if they lean into the AI and this bullshit. And it sucks because, and I know you got your feelings. I'm not trying to like slag you personally or anything.
I know. I'm like, I can't.
I know you're biting
podcast
biting your tongue. I hear you. I hear you.
Here we go.
But just like, Lazy Bear has been such an amazing developer, and I've always said they like low key deserve way more respect for the work they do. They're just kind of unrecognized, and there hasn't really been AI. You haven't even had the option for any of their other games. It hasn't been a thing until now. So you know for a fact there's no AI in those, and the pixel work, the sprite work, the writing, the planning. It was just they're all so great, and I'm like, you guys don't fucking need AI. So I sent an email to PR, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck, dude? And so the official line from Lazy Bear themselves. Now, is this true? I don't know, but the line is zero AI in Graveyard Keeper 2. Despite the guy being completely all in, their official line is no AI whatsoever in Graveyard Keeper 2. Now, I hope they're telling the truth. I don't know that they are, but I'll take their word for it for now. And then if they're lying, someone's going to find out, and then we'll see. But I'm glad to hear that, and I'm very excited for Graveyard Keeper 2. Oh, also, I forgot.
Yes.
If you... Oh, shit. Well... We were supposed to record a couple days ago. I was going to say, if you go right now, you can get Graveyard Keeper 1 for free because they're giving it away.
It's
Sorry,
over.
missed it. Yeah, I was on Steam, PlayStation, Xbox. I did share that on Blue Sky, and I shared it in the Discord. So hopefully if you follow me on Blue Sky or in Discord, you saw that and grabbed it. I think Graveyard Keeper 1 is like a bona fide masterpiece, and they were giving it away for free. But if you're hearing it now, sorry, you missed it. Anyway, my bad.
Check out 2, because what I was going to say when I was biting my tongue is that because I do use AI in a lot of different things, you can't make games with it. I want to make that very clear right now. It's not. It can't do what people are afraid of it doing right now. It can help. It can like make graphics for you, and then you have to edit them anyhow. It can kind of write some code, but then you've got to go in and change it anyhow. So Graveyard Keeper 2, if they say no AI, I believe them wholeheartedly, because to make a game, it's still a person or people and a group of people. So I believe them, okay? Because in general...
I'm believing them. I want to believe.
You can't just hit a button. People think that, you know? Oh, you're just going to go all AI. I don't know how you think that's happening, because it's not happening with the tools right now. So, anyways, none of that's possible. A lot of people, though, I will say this, will use in general, like developers and stuff like that, use it for ideas in the beginning. And it's similar to when you're sketching on a sketch pad. They're just fucking around. They see some cool shit, they made it, and then they go and make their own thing. So that's a lot of the times when you hear it in studios, that's what they're doing. Just because I know firsthand, but
yeah.
Anyways.
I mean that makes me feel the fury of 1,000 suns, and I have big problems with that. But we're not going to talk about that.
The fury of 1,000 suns.
We don't have a time to talk about that, Carlos. We can't.
Okay, that's another podcast.
That's a different
By the way,
podcast.
This is the podcast where we're going to stick as much as we can into a podcast we have no time for.
Yeah, we're already on the sub 1 hour countdown here. So okay,
moving on. I'll say Starfield real quick.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Starfield. Oh yeah. Wait. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so. Check out GameCritics.com. Check out our YouTube at GameCritics.com videos. If you want to support this show, I know we're rushing through it, but normally we take more time. Patreon.com/The So Videogames Podcast. Kick us $1, that'd be amazing. Okay, down to Circlebacks, where we circle back to things we have covered in depth on previous episodes. We're not going to get into all the details. We're going to skip some of the preamble. If you want to know further thoughts, check out our coverage on previous episodes. And right now, we're coming back to games we have already covered before. So, Carlos, you go first. Starfield, what the fuck with Starfield?
Yeah, infamously, both of us played it super early and then reviewed it very poorly.
And then we ate shit for 6 weeks because people sent us hate mail constantly.
Yes, and then they all came around. They're like, "Wow, it's not that great."
I didn't get a single apology. Did you?
Oh yeah, I think I did.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah.
Lucky.
I think a couple people were like, "Oh yeah, you guys are like kind of close to on the money with that."
We were absolutely fucking correct. Yes, we were.
But anyway. Again, it's all opinion, and it still can be fun. And here's my, circle back is the fact that they released DLC, which I got all that stuff for free because I had the premium edition.
I think I got that too, yeah.
Yeah, it's $10 if you don't. And then they released a bunch of just free stuff, which is called free lanes, and a bunch of updates in general, like quality of life stuff. One of the biggest things that is important that you and I both complained about was when you go to planets, you actually get like 100 POIs. So like 100 different like locations to go instead of just 3. Like when we played it at launch, it was like there's a science base again. There's that one place.
Yep.
So now it feels like there's more creative moments that happen, and that does make it fun. Like I like that kind of vibe. It's not handcrafted like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Which is why we'll never have that vibe, but it has a similar feel. So I do like that of it. They added this idea that you can, really drive your spaceship to the planets now, or in between planets, you can drive the spaceship instead of just warping everywhere.
Yeah.
As soon as you start the game, you have to warp, which that was hilarious. I was like, bro. But then when you actually use it, I hated it. Like it's
boring,
complicated. No, it's just complicated. I might do a video on that as well. It just was complicated to use.
Is it like Steel Battalion where you've got to like flip all the switches and do all the toggles and stuff?
More like you hit the button, you're like, you don't know where you are. You're like, am I going to the star? It doesn't seem like I'm traveling right now. And then all of a sudden it just speeds up and then you're there. And I was just very confused. Also, they really focused on spaceship combat, which I don't really like, and I guess a lot of people do. And if my ship isn't upgraded, which I never upgraded it like just blew up immediately. Like I had no shot at these enemies because they thought you were like upgrading it this whole time.
They thought you'd been playing this whole time and you were like maxed out your stuff or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And my ship's like, baby ship. And I'm like, okay, I'm dead. But when you get to actually fight the robots, because the whole DLC is about fighting robots, that was fun for me because I have my, as you know, melee katana blade, and I was just going and killing robots. So there was some fun to be had. And when I went back, the short answer is I had fun with Bethesda stuff, which is pick up everything you can see, hit things, and progress.
Yeah.
The problem is I won't stay going back, or I won't keep playing it, because a lot of it's ship combat. A lot of the spaceship travel I hate. I don't like what's happening there. It makes me uncomfortable and mad. And then a lot of it, the mission stuff they gave you is spaceship stuff, like combat. And it just feels repetitive and like no soul,
Yeah.
It's almost ironic that they're robots, because that's what I feel. I'm just doing more things and picking more stuff.
Give me content. Yeah. Yes.
So, I was excited to go back because I keep missing that feeling, and it's just not there, really. So
yeah. All right. Right on. The DLC is called what? It's called Free Lanes. And what's the other part of the DLC?
Terran Armada. Yeah.
All right. So there we go, Starfield. All right. Let me talk about one circle back, and then we'll come back to you in a second here, Carlos. Circling back on Furi, Furi. This is from the Game Bakers. Talked about it, I believe, last week. This is the game from 10 years ago where you play a person who's like a super soldier warrior guy who is in a cell or a containment area. You bust out, and then you got to make your way through 10 levels of basically a prison, even though it doesn't look like a prison, until you free yourself. It's basically a boss rush game. Do you remember Furi from back in the day, Carlos?
I do. It's a long time ago, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like literally 10 years ago. I played this because this is from the same people who made Cairn, and I love Cairn. And I was like, okay, so I did play Furi back in the day. Didn't care for it back then. Let me give it another shot now that I like Cairn to kind of, like, I don't know about you, but like when I hear a new musician and I'm like, oh man, that sounds dope. What I usually do is I go back to like listen to their entire discography, and I kind of like to hear the progression of where they started and go through. I mean, maybe I don't listen to them 1,000 times, but I'll be like, like when I got into like Prince, when I first discovered Prince many years ago, I was like, man, this guy's amazing. And I went back to his first album and I go, oh, that sounds really different, but I can hear some through line. You go to his next album, and then you're there, present day. You're like, okay, I see how you got here, and I learned about your product. I love doing that. So anyway, talked about it briefly last week. Finished it last week also. I think there's 10 bosses, basically boss rush game, and it's just I understand why I didn't like it back then, and honestly, I don't think I even like it now. But I got through it for research purposes, right? I had more of a mission this time, and they also added an easy mode, which was not there the first time. Easy mode is pretty easy, but you need it because on normal mode, this game is way too fucking hard. It's like stupid, like ridiculously, you're pissing me off hard.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was the ask of this game is, I think, honestly unreasonable. So I think the easy mode really, maybe it's too easy, but I'm not complaining, honestly, because it made me get through the game and I was able to finish it this time. And if you don't get stuck, it's only like 2 hours or something. It's pretty short. So I think what they were going for was cool. I'm not going to spoil it. There's a twist at the end that I do not feel was earned at all, but I get what they were going for. It didn't work for me. But I think it's all about the vibes. Like, they really lean into the music. The music is really good. And like a lot of the game is just like the backgrounds and the scenery. The actual combat, pretty stiff, pretty stilted. I don't think it's balanced very well. I don't really think it's even good combat. There's a lot of things about it that I would fix and change. There's also some bullet hell elements, which I also didn't think were that good. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty, but it's like for a first effort from a studio, they were swinging for the fences and trying like 6 brand new things at once. I don't think they landed any of it, but I can see that they were really trying to just not turn out another one of something else, right? They were trying to do their own thing, which I respect. And I can see how they got to Cairn coming from Furi. Like I can see like some of the vibes, some of the art choices, some of the directorial choices, because they had the same director all the way through. So I get it. Am I glad I went back to it? Yes. I think it's an interesting thing. Even if you take Cairn out of it, it's an interesting game all on its own. And it's nice to see people trying for something. So I'm not going to say it's a good game, but I think it's experimental and I respect it for that. And I appreciate that it was only like 2 hours on easy mode, which is great. Could basically finish it in like a day, which is really nice. So I think if you're interested in the game bakers, if you're interested in some really like weird avant-garde kind of artistic jam kind of stuff, this is a pretty good one for that. Don't come to it for the actual gameplay though. I think you might be disappointed. So I think overall I'm going to give it a full review since I did finish it. And I think it's probably coming in at like a 6.5 for me. At 6.5. I think the gameplay just really isn't there, but I do like just the vibes and stuff. I like the idea more than I like the reality. So for me, that lands at like a 6.5.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's like you said, he's going back and listening to an old record by someone you like, and you're like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah. It might not be my jam, but I get what you're doing, but I like maybe your new stuff better. So, all right, Carlos, one more circle back from you, sir. Crimson Desert, small little game. I never heard of it. You want to tell us about it?
You're not serious anymore, right?
I'm not serious. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. We have talked about it endlessly in the Discord. I'm fully caught up on Crimson Desert. I haven't played it, but I know all about it now.
But when I first brought it to the show, I think you were like, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
yeah.
Is this related to Black Desert? What is this game? I don't even know what you're talking about.
It is
sure.
kind of.
Yeah.
So anyways, I've been playing a lot. If you're listening on Discord, you've seen a lot of my trials and tribulations. I think this game is a perfect example of one step forward, one step back, where one moment you're like, oh, this new update they just did is great, and now I have this other thing that I really want to do, and quality of life is better, and blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, I still can't get up this mountain fast enough, and why did they do this? And I ran out of inventory. Just, you know what I mean? It's like a bunch of like, again, similar to MMO, which is where they come from. You're like, these things suck, and this is good. The update made it better, but I'm still mad at this.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of like push and pull. And so, but the pull is very good. Like you feel really compelled to go back because it's such a huge world. There's so much emergent gameplay. The combat, for the most part, is really fun. I don't think I feel strong enough because a lot of the weapons are almost the same, which is really weird.
In terms of power or in terms
of like,
okay.
Yeah, because I mean you can upgrade all your weapons with all this resources that kind of take time to get. But even when you upgrade them, like I upgraded this one sword, the most it can do, it's just not super strong. And then by that time, like I played 60 hours now already. And I think in the 60 hours in any other game, I'd be like pretty OP, like feeling good about myself.
You'd be balling, yeah.
Now I feel like, you meet a new boss, especially, which I'll talk about in a second, and you're like, oh, I just got hit in 3 hits, and I'm over. So, yeah, I think the power, balancing is a problem. But with that, I'm still playing it. So I'll just get stuck. Here's my whole thing. I get stuck somewhere, and I'll either get stuck truly like on a puzzle or some dumb thing that's kind of buggy or a boss, and then I'll just like put it away for a while and be like, okay, fuck this game. And then I'll come back and I'll be like, yeah, but I want to get to that new mountain, Yeah. And I wanted to get that one thing and the horse and blah, blah, blah. And then I go back and then I beat it. And I'm like, okay, I'm playing for a while. So it's that kind of game and experience for me right now. I do want to finish the story, and I like I'm in like chapter 9 of 12 chapters.
I was just going to ask, is there actually like a story to finish? Like how?
Yeah, there is.
Okay,
yeah.
So 60 hours is pretty far. Is that just because you've been taking your time, or do you feel like it legit like takes that long to finish?
It's both because this game is just similar to Skyrim, where you don't ever want to really do the main mission because you're just like having fun doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So that is part of it, but the other part is because I have like mainline now. I'm like, okay, I just want to get to the end because I actually, spoiler, know of something that happens in the game world when you beat it. So I won't spoil that.
Like a new mechanic kind of a thing? or a story beat?
Uh,
New content? I mean, new mode.
it's a
Like, what
it's
are
a
we-
world changing thing.
Okay, so something that alters your gameplay. Maybe.
It alters the world. So that's why I'm kind of focused on that. So I would say that the actual campaign is too long. I think I should be done with it by now.
60 hours is a long fucking time.
Well, and not just that. Like I have a lot more bosses and things to do still. Like I feel like it's a while.
Okay.
And there's a huge like epic battles in this game where you literally are on a battlefield with like hundreds of people. And like that just takes a long time because you're doing a battle, like a huge, like, total, what's it called? Total War or something. It feels like almost like you're in a real time strategy game.
Okay.
So there's so much in this game. It's pretty freaking cool. Like I still love it to death. And then I just get mad at it, because like something you love that does things wrong, almost like you get mad at it more because you're like, you could be so great.
Is it you're mad or you're disappointed?
Both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll close out the circle back. Say, A, I'm playing it still, so that's the thing, and I still love it. B, the bosses are a problem because essentially sometimes they're really, really fun, and I feel like moments that you and I both have had in Souls games or just a boss battle where you feel rewarded for beating it, and you're like, that was awesome. And then moments where like it's bullshit, like wild bullshit, where it happens in Neo 2, or a lot of the enemies in Crimson Desert disappear. And that is some horse shit, and I'm over it. You know what I mean? Like, just they blink in and out of existence. They're in the air, then they're landing on you. All that stuff is not a fight to me. And I have a video going up on Glitch to the Ground, which I was going to tell you. I'm starting to do these little thoughts videos, which are doing well, where I just say shit and then just show B-roll of the game.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, they're doing really well. And I was like, okay, I'll make more of them. And so my next video is about these bosses, which is like, hey, let's fight person to person, okay? Then I feel like it's fair, and I feel like I did the dodge move the right time, the parry, and I feel like a winner at the end.
Yeah.
That felt good. And I had a fight like that before this last boss, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is the best game in the world. That felt so good. Then the next boss, blink, 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 blink. I'm in the sky. There's arrows. There's an explosion. Guess what? You're dead. I'm like, how is that fun for anyone? And by the way, that's a small caveat to you, a question for Brad. When enemies blink in and out of existence, do you think it's just horseshit, or do you think there's like some fun in even beating that?
No, it's horse. It's horse shit, dude.
It's horse
no,
shit.
I mean,
okay.
That reminds me of the first release of Dragon Age 2. When that came out, and I was so excited because I love Dragon Age #1. I ended up hating Dragon Age 2, the original version anyway. And that was a big problem because enemies would blink in and out. Like, you'd be in a dungeon, you'd think you're clear. All of a sudden, like these knights would like literally drop from the sky right in front of you. I'm like, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. They're not even coming from anywhere. Like, yeah, no, I do not care for it these days. No.
It's garbage. It was garbage in Neo as well, because Neo had this monster that would be like, bump, 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 and then it's like gone. And I'm like, well, where are you? And then it's landing on me. And I'm like, cool. Yeah. That's not a fight, So that aside, the game is really fucking special. I actually said frickin' and fucking at the same time.
I heard that, but I was kind of just taking it in.
No, I don't. I always we speak the truth on this podcast. I said frickin'.
It was your brain trying. It's a new thing. It's like the power of both those words combined.
Can you do that as a podcast name, because it's not swearing?
I'm sure we could. It's not even a real word.
The frickin' podcast, the frickin' episode.
Yes,
I don't know.
I'll figure that.
It is frickin' good though. It really is. How about that? It is frickin' good. It's frickin' good.
I'm making a note. Hold on a second. I'm making a note.
It's frickin' good. Frickin' sounds pretty fun to say too.
Maybe you can make it happen. Maybe make it happen like Fetch.
Well, fruck. It's a good game.
All right, Crimson Desert still playing. You're still going to try to roll credits, yes?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm hot on the tail of it.
All right, folks. That is all the circle backs. I'm intensely looking at the clock here. Let's move on really quickly.
We're going to be on speed 2, and we're going to do it.
I'm going to have to cut some games. It's fine. We'll do whatever. Okay, so moving on. You just got done talking. Let me start off the new game section with Grime II. Not gonna take too long. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you remember I talked about Grime? It was like 2
I'm the one who
ago?
told you about Grime II, by the way.
Yeah. So Grime, the original Grime, it was a Metroidvania, combat heavy, where you played this kind of weird creature that like absorbed other creatures, and it was very oblique storytelling. I loved it. I thought it was so fun and so good. And I'm not really a Metroidvania kind of guy, but man, Grime had me. Just everything about it was just like so dope. So I didn't even realize Grime 2 was coming out, but I got a code from the PR, so thank you very much for that. Checked it out, and I gotta say, it's a game you can play. It's a thing.
Oh, no. Okay.
It's weird. So it's the same. Like, okay, before I say anything else, Grime 2 feels like a do-over of Grime 1. Like, it doesn't feel like a new concept. It feels like the same concept, but like slightly differently. A lot of the enemies are the same. A lot of the themes are the same. A lot of the locations, I got like literal deja vu. I'm like, wait, isn't this the exact same location from the first game? Like, it kind of, and I don't think it is exactly, but it conjures that same vibe, that same feeling. A lot of the same emotions, a lot of the same vibes. It's just from Grime number 1. And I'm like, why did you guys do this? Because Grime number 1 rocked. Like, it was so good. I don't think you needed to like do over, or is this like a side story or a part B? It just feels like they're retreading the same ground, which is really cooled me off quite a bit, because Grime still exists. I can go back and play that if I want to. It's still amazing. So I just got this like overall sense of like, I'm just replaying Grime 1. It's not exactly the same. The graphics are slightly different. Your main character is slightly different. But the same kind of idea. Like, you're doing a Metroidvania in this weird underground world. There's lots of talk about clay and artistry and breath and all these little nouns that they have created for their whole world, which is pretty fascinating the first time.
Oh, yeah, I remember those words. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting the first time, and now it just feels like they're just doing it again. And I'm like, why are we doing this? It just feels like such a do-over. I don't get it. So I played some of it. The biggest difference in this particular game is that you have a brand new system of, when you kill monsters a certain amount of times, you can somehow capture them. Not like Pokemon, but like for example, maybe there's a guy with claws and you beat him like 3 or 4 times, you capture his essence, and then you can assign him to one of your D-pads. So if you have enough energy, you like hit up on the D-pad, and then a clone of that monster with the claws jumps out and does an attack. Like, maybe he does like a charge forward attack. Yeah, it's okay. Like, there's, a variety of different monsters. There's some that are defense, some that do give you motion, some that do, just some stand still, some rush forward, etc., etc. You get it. But that's really like the only big change. And to be honest, I've seen that in like several other games. It's not even really an original idea. I can think of at least 3 or 4 other Metroidvanias that do the exact same thing. So it's not that big a change, not that big an idea. And the rest of it feels like I've already been here and done this. And to be fair, again, I loved Grime. It was in my top 10 of the year when it came out, and I was singing its praises to everybody. But this just feels like, I don't even want to call it like a victory lap. I just feel like they're just making the same game again, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to ask, is that, we don't have no time for this tangent, but is that something that is okay in the game world of like just getting more of the game that you like, though?
I mean, in this case, no. I would rather them go back to like Grime number 1 and do an expansion or DLC of the original game. This feels like they're just starting from scratch. Like I'm like, hey, Carlos, draw me a house, and you draw a house, and I go, cool. And then I give you a brand new piece of paper, and I go, draw me another house, and you draw the same house. I don't need another picture of the same house. I already got the first one.
Right,
it just feels like they're doing the exact same thing, and I don't understand why they did this. It's very strange to me. Did they not feel like they achieved their goals? Were they not happy with number 1? I haven't looked into it. I don't have any developer statements or commentary. It's breaking my brain that I feel like this is a brand new game, and yet it feels exactly like the first game, and I don't even know why. So I bounced on it pretty quickly after 3 or 4 hours. I'm like, this just feels like I'm completely doing a do-over, and I'm not here for that. Disappointing. Yeah. But if you've never played Grime, I think it's perfectly lovely, although I might recommend number 1 over number 2. But it's a thing you can play. It works well. It's pretty. But
I get why you say that now. It's a thing you can play because it's the game. It's Grime.
Yeah, it's. I don't even want to say it's more Grime. It's like other Grime, I guess.
Other Grime. Well, it's funny. It's a comparison to Dragon's Dogma, because the Dragon's Dogma, just called that, is actually Dragon's Dogma 2. Yeah. Right? And that is the better version, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion. Agreed. But it is different. Yeah. Because, especially the ending. Did we talk about that alternate ending thing?
Of the original Dragon's Dogma?
No, of the new one.
The new one. I didn't finish the new one, dude.
Oh my goodness, dude.
I didn't enjoy it.
So cool.
I didn't like playing it that much.
You didn't like playing. Okay. Anyways, there's something really cool at the end that they definitely didn't have in the first one. It's like world changing, like
You'll have to fill
ending.
me in.
Yeah.
I heard there was a thing, and people were being kind of cagey with the spoilers and stuff. But to be perfectly honest, I prefer the first one. I didn't enjoy number 2 that much. So
Yeah, but if you go back to the first one, you'll see how dated it is, though. So
well,
I
okay,
don't
so
know
here,
if you do.
okay, let me. Okay,
We have no time for this.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry I
we
brought it
got
up.
to go on. Here's the thing. At the time that it came out, what it did was amazing for that time, and I don't feel like it has moved forward enough to keep up with today's time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, even though I grant you that like technically the second game is probably better, I think with all the other competition out, it doesn't really grab me the same way that number 1 did back when it came out. When number 1 came out, incredibly experimental and bold and crazy, and I was down and I was along for the ride. Number 2, I'm like, okay, it's like another game I can play. It didn't
Yeah,
grab
I
me.
get it. Okay, we have no time to
We're both
follow
right.
up. Next,
right.
we're both right. Next, game.
Next, Exit 8, Carlos, go.
Yes, it's a game, and it's about like liminal spaces, and I like it. Next game.
Next game, go.
It's all we got time for. No, I'm obsessed with liminal spaces. I love the back rooms. The new movie's coming out soon. I'm very excited. Like very soon it's coming out.
I got a secret for you, Carlos.
What's the secret? You have tickets for me for free to go see the movie?
The movie.
What?
I literally have the movie.
How is that possible?
Because the people who made the movie reached out. They're like, you want to see this movie? And I'm like, no.
Why'd they reach out to you?
But
They
I
should have
bet
reached out
Carlos does.
to me. Right? So
I don't know.
how? But how can I?
We'll talk
see
after
it?
the show. I have the movie.
My mind is blown. Okay, I'm excited, but also I love that whole like space. And so Exit 8 has been around for a while. I think it came out. Maybe you can check, but it came out a little while ago, and I revisited because of Backrooms trailer, and I was like, I've never played that, and it's got a liminal feel to it. And the movie's coming out, so they've made an Exit 8 movie.
Yep.
Which is really exciting, and the trailer looks cool. So I finally went back to play it. Weirdly enough, it was free on the PlayStation Plus.
Okay.
So they do give you good games sometimes.
There you go.
And it's basically just a hallway in like a subway area, and you basically just going through the same hallway, similar to Silent Hills. What is it called?
Not Silent Hills.
Not Silent Hills.
I know what you're talking about. It's that demo thing. What the fuck is it called? Oh my
Why is it
god.
out of my brain? Anyways.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You
yes.
go in a hallway over and over, right? And so you're basically, you see signs and you see doors and you see this one guy who keeps walking by, and he's got a suitcase and a phone, and you got to check the differences. And if there's anything different, then you got to go back, and you can't go down the hallway. You got to go back.
What the fuck
and
was that thing called? What was it called?
I know.
Keep
dude.
talking.
But now you're gonna hear my review, your research.
I'm still listening. Keep going. Keep going.
So you go back, and if you go back because you notice something was out of place in the hallway, you progress, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So you're trying to get out.
PT.
Okay. PT. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So the same thing where you're going through the hall over and over again, but this time you're actually trying to see all the differences. And if you see anything different, you got to go back. Okay. And if you go forward and you miss the difference, you'll reset. And you go back to 0.
This is like a whole genre, right? Like the spot the difference spooky game.
Is
I feel
it
like there's
in
a lot
a
of
hallway?
these.
I don't know.
I don't know about hallway, but I feel like my son has played a number of these, and I feel like I am aware of this kind of game, even though I don't play it, and I feel like there's many of these.
I don't know of them, but we'll find out from our listeners maybe. So here's the thing. So the signs are pretty complicated, so I'm not great at like memorization. But every once in a while, the differences are wildly apparent, and it's very fun. So a good example is there's a little cartoon character on one of the posters, and I walked down the hallway, and all of a sudden the cartoon character looked scary. And I was like, okay, we back up. We don't go there. The other time, these are minor spoilers, but it's really fun. The other time, I just go around the hallway to look down the hallway, and very, very far in the distance, there's a man in the wall. But like the same pattern as the wall.
Like he's melded into the wall or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's bad. I was
That's
like,
gross. That
we're
sounds
going
gross.
back. Then the other time, it scared me. Like it actually did a jump scare where the door just made a sound. And I was like, yep, we're going back. We're going back. And then one of the times, the best one ever, was a guy walking by. He keeps walking by each time, the same time. If there's anything wrong with him, you got to go back too.
Yeah.
He was just smiling. And I was like, oh, we got to get the fuck out of here. I don't like that at all. He comes around the corner because he always comes around the corner the same way, and he's just wide smile. And I was like, holy shit, that's kind of creepy. So you don't really play it for the creepy. You really are. Some of it's just like, oh, that's a typo. Like, go back, right? So some of it's just like spot the difference.
Gotcha.
But some of it's like scary fun. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I made it to like level 6 of 8. And then I got reset.
I was going to say, so you can finish it. It's not just like a vibe game. There's actually
if you do it right, you can finish it in like 20 minutes or something, maybe.
Yeah. If you spot every single difference.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. So I got to 6, and I just had a good time with it. I was like, this is fucking cool. Like, what a unique experience. And now when the movie comes out, I'll be like, I totally get the vibe of it. All
right. Well, I guess you'll
highly
recommend
recommend
that movie a little early, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, no, but Exit 8's a different movie. Are we talking about Exit 8 or a Backrooms movie?
Exit 8.
Oh, then okay. Then I'm equally excited, but I'm not as excited.
But it's like the same thing.
No, it's not at all.
These are all the same game, Carlos.
You don't know the world of Liminal. Kane Pixels, Backrooms, it's going to be like this fucking movement. It's going to be fucking amazing. Well, anyways, I'm so excited about Exit 8 too. That's even more important. That's really like, it's totally, I'm playing the game.
All right. We'll talk about it more. All right.
Let's talk about more. I'm trying to go fast. Now I'm running out of breath.
I know, right? Okay, well, take a minute. I'll take over for a second here.
You talk for a bit. Exit 8. Check it out.
New game, ChainStaff. Just came out less than a week ago, I believe. From Nathan Fouts of Mommy's Best Games. Do you remember Nathan Fouts, Carlos?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, good friend, good personal friend. I believe he got his start working on Ratchet and Clank back in the day, and then he left that studio and did his own thing. He was very influential and seen when Xbox Live was getting off the ground. Xbox Indies, remember that time period. And he's just been doing his own thing, marching to his own drummer since then. I love Nathan. He's a great guy, and he makes really, really, really fucking interesting games. I think I've played all of them. He made stuff like Weapon of Choice, Explosion Aid. He did Serious Sam Double D XXL, which was really fun. The thing that I like about Nathan, he's so creative, and like you could show me a game and don't tell me anything about it, and within like 5 minutes of playing it, I'm like, oh, Nathan made this, because like he's so distinctive. He's always working with like mechanics of how you control your guy, or like gun mechanics or something. Like for example, in one of his games, you had a gun and then you got another gun, you stack that gun on top of the first gun, and you just keep stacking guns on top. And so eventually you've got like this gun that's eight guns that are all combined, right? Yeah. Or like in this other one, like you would have, like in this one, for example, you have this guy, it's a 2D platformer, action platformer. You can go to different levels. There's a bunch of cool stuff in it. But the hook of this one is that you've got a parasite or something is like sitting on top of your head. And I don't mean that it's like perched on top of your scalp. I mean like your head is up its butt. And it's like it's on top of your head like that. And it's merged with you. Apparently you died, and with its butt on your head, it's keeping you alive somehow. And so you're like basically this.
What a way to live.
I know, right? I know. So anyway, the hook of it is like you have guns, and that's cool. But the thing is, like, you have this, like, the ChainStaff is, I guess, what they call it. So it's like a tail. It's also kind of like a spear. You hold your button and you can throw it, and it does massive damage to people. It also functions like a bridge. You can also use it to, like, stop things from crushing you. But then you can switch modes. So, like, you throw the spear out, and not only is it's, like, kind of wobbly sometimes. You hit a button, and then it's, like, very firm, and it can move like a platform. So, like, you can throw it, jump on it, cross a bridge, get to the next side, and then you change the mode. And then it becomes like a little platform that you can like stand on, and you can control the platform. So it goes back and forth between having some physics on it or like having it be completely player controlled. And you just use it in like all these fucking, it's also grappling hook too, by the way. Left out my favorite part is the grappling hook. I'm a sucker for grappling hooks. And so it does like all these like multi-purpose, like, Swiss Army knife kind of applications, and throwing that into the middle of like what's essentially like a Contra type experience, like run and gun, 2D side scrolling, is just like so wild. And like Nathan always leans into, let's make this complicated, but like in an awesome way, and do something that you just don't see anywhere else. Like all his ideas, I'm just like, damn, that's a Nathan ass idea, because like no one else would come up with that. It's just very signature, very, very identifiable. So, full disclosure, I mean, it's a little rough, right? It's a little rough. It's like a small operation. All of Mommy's Best Games are a little bit on the rough side. I find it endearing. It's kind of like along the lines of Eurojank for me. But just go into it knowing that it's a small operation, and it's not having all the bells and whistles that you'd expect from Square Enix or something like that. But I think the core idea is really cool, and if you like exploring mechanics, if you like exploring new ideas, if you like seeing something you genuinely have never seen before in a game, I mean, you can pick up basically any of his games and you'll find something there that I guarantee you've never seen before. This one comes together really well. I really like it a lot. I've been having fun. I'm not finished with it yet. Been kind of chipping away at it, but like just getting the hang of like run and gun, throw the spear, call it back. Now it's a grappling hook going over the chasm, dropping down, throw it below me, switch it. Now it's a platform. Now I'm moving the platform, and now I'm going back to run and gun. It's kind of like how the game goes. Like it's a little bit mind bending when you are kind of getting used to it. And I will say, I don't think I have fully dialed into the control scheme. You can reassign the controls, which I'm still experimenting with. And every control scheme I end up with, there's always like one thing where I'm like, this is perfect except for the B button, or this is perfect.
I know that.
But now B is fixed, but now A is wrong or something, like that. So I mean, it's totally fine, and I'm still working with it. I'm hoping to find a setup that works for me. But so far, big thumbs up. The creativity is like off the charts. It's goofy. There's lots of references to things, lots of humor for sure. It's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of a game. He gets it. So if you like that kind of like indie gonzo gorilla, new idea, maybe it's rough, but it's bringing something you've never seen before, which is always like where I like to be. It's my favorite zone. I think ChainStaff is pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks cool, and he always like does that, like systems, like 2D systems.
Yeah,
that are interesting. So I always like that.
Definitely. So check it out. That is ChainStaff from good friend Nathan Fouts of Mommy's Best Games. Digging it, having a lot of fun with that one. All right, Carlos, you're up.
Is this the last game, or do you have one more too?
I have like 6 more, but I'm going to cut some of those. We're going to keep going till we run out of time.
We have 15 minutes. Okay, here's my my last game, is Samson. So very excited about this game. Never heard of it, which is crazy. The whole internet knows about it, and Brad Galloway doesn't.
The whole internet minus Brad Galloway, yes.
Liquid Swords is the developer, but some of the people that worked on Just Cause were part of that company, or are part of that company. And the short version is it was going to be a much bigger open world game. They couldn't do it. They lost some staff. They had to downsize, and they made it a roguelike game. So because they had to make it that, it's a different kind of game. It's obviously not kind of what I was really excited about, which is an open world game where you just punch people, because that's how they sold it to people.
That is your favorite genre, open world, and I punch people. That is Carlos the game.
I love it.
Yes.
You can have melee weapons as well, but they break. So it's not really my game, because I would love to have like a melee weapon as well that I could keep. But it's one of those games like, you pick up a weapon, you hit someone with it, and it breaks or something.
I'm sorry, breaking weapons always sucks. Always sucks. Yes.
But what they do is, because it's a roguelike and it feels like arcadey. Remember arcade games did that a lot, which is like, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle type side games.
Little beat 'em ups.
Yeah, it's a very beat 'em up feel. So where it originally was going to be, you drive around a car, you punch people, open world, it's the same, but it's roguelike. And because of that, it's actually more unique and more interesting because they had to downsize. And so you play as Samson, this guy who has to rescue his sister. That's the short version of the story. The story does get very interesting, but it's really about the gameplay, which is you have a really cool car. The car reminds me of Mad Max. It even has like a ram ability. You can ram other cars.
All right.
The driving's fucking fantastic and very realistic. Mud and physics are really good. You can see the bones of like a really very detailed open world, but it's a small city. So you just play in this one small city. It's grimy. It's very unique in that way. It just feels like a crappy part of town, like really crappy. And every day you get like 6 points, action points or something, 5 or 6 action points, and you can go to different locations that are like missions, and you can spend 1 or 2 or 3 action points doing that mission.
Wait. Tell me more about this points, because I'm looking at the trailer. It looks just like a beat 'em up, like something, something from kind of like the 360 era. How do the points come into it? Explain that a little more.
So when you basically every day, because you're trying to get your sister back, this is the story, you owe $100,000. And I thought this is funny because I actually like am hustling myself right now with freelance, trying to get like rent paid. I'm like, oh, this is like my life. I owe money every day.
Don't we all, brother? Don't we all?
I know. But it is very similar to where like I am hustling, and this character is doing that every day. So every day he's got to pay $3,000
Jesus.
Yeah, or to these guys, or he'll get in trouble and like there's consequences, whatever.
That's making me sad. That's too real, dude.
So you have the action points. You go to a location, and one of them's like, collect a bunch of stuff, or beat up a bunch of people, or race, or escape the cops or something. And each one takes action points. At the end of the day, when it's nighttime and you've run over all your action points, you have to go to bed. And when you do, that's it. Like that's all you can do that day. And then you start over the next day. But at the end of the day, you've got to pay that money. And if you don't, then you owe some. Or, if you have extra, then you have extra for the next day. But here's the coolest part of the game that I don't know if they even expected. The consequences. So if you die in this game, you lose all your money. If you lose all your money and it's nighttime, you're fucked. That's it. You don't get another chance to be like, I'll just fucking, And there's no saving the game. It's just autosave.
Oh, man. Okay.
While all this could be a bad thing, I'm here to say that it's very unique and needed in more open world games to fucking feel consequences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I literally fell in the water once accidentally, and that killed me because I just didn't know or something. And that was a bummer because I had made like $3,500 that day, and I just lost it all, and I showed up in the hospital, And it's not like GTA Hospital where like everything's fine, it costs you $5, you're fine, go on. Everything's lost, and the consequences are crazy. So, and then there's story missions, and they cost action points. And so I've been doing the story as well, and it's janky as fuck. And my whole video on my channel that's getting all these, comments is people are like, oh, it's janky, blah, 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 and they're complaining. Yeah, of course it is. And you and I both like Elex and Eurojank.
Sure.
It's janky to the point of like, at times it's broken. They got to patch it. Like, certain missions are like fucked. But even with all the jank, it's such a unique experience. And I know what they were going for, which is this huge game, and they had to pare it down. But by them paring it down, they made something very unique. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm looking at it, and it does seem like one of those. Like I'm trying to put all these pieces together in my head because you've laid out a number of things here. It's like beat 'em up. It's like you've got this debt you got to do. You've got driving. You've got the action points. You've got the the roguelike, I guess, element type thing with the consequences. I mean, I'm trying to like figure this all out, and I think I would give it a shot, and I guess I'm just not quite sure what to make of it. But I guess. So if you die and start over, are there like permanent boosts? Is there some leg up they give you?
Oh, yes,
to make it
skills.
more, or is it just like a pure roguelike where you got to just tough it out?
No, it's roguelike with upgrades, so I forgot to mention that. And I'm actually upgrading pretty well right now. So you can get actual, health and stuff like that and all the other accoutrement, but also there's like specific skills that you get from each one of these trees. And so one might be like to help your car, racing or whatever, help your repairability or something. By the way, when your car's fucked, that's another thing I've never thought about. Every open world game, you just crash cars and you're like, who the fuck cares? You pick up another car, you're like, fine, right? You have a main car, which is awesome, by the way. Feels so good to drive and realistic. But if that car gets damaged even, like just, it's smoking and like a problem, you have to go get it repaired. It costs $1,500 to repair the fucking car.
Again, just like real life. This is too much like real life, dude. This feels like real life. I know.
Simulator. It's weirdly, I should hate it because I'm like dealing with all these bills myself. But it's unique, And so as I'm driving, I'm being very careful. Like in this race I was doing.
Just like real life.
Yeah, because I was like, I can't hit this one more time or it'll blow up, which has happened to me. And then...
Real life in the game.
In the game. One time I actually like hit just a fucking stone in the road and my car went tumbling and I was like, holy shit, my whole day's ruined. So the autosave, that kind of stuff, all of it is very fucking unique. And I just think it's, even with all the jank, it's fucking cool. Every night, by the way, I play it. So I do it like a day thing because it's a roguelike, So every night I load it up and I play a few days. And it feels like that's my game for the evening. To be
like you're timing yourself out, doing little chunks and stuff.
Yeah, doing little chunks.
I get it.
So I fucking think it's really special. And I know that they were going to make a fascinating just beat 'em up open world game like Just Cause. Like that's what you can tell they were going to make.
Yeah.
But because they couldn't, they made something really unique.
What is the combat like when you're punching? Like, is it like
Janky
Arkham
as
combat?
fuck.
Oh,
It's
super
jank.
janky.
No, it isn't. It's janky as fuck. Can't even lock on. But when you hit, it feels really good. So it's like jank, jank, jank. Dodge looks wild, and then when you hit, and then you can do like a finisher, it feels amazing. And you're like, this is so confusing. Like it feels great, and then it feels bad.
Interesting.
But I tell you what, I can't stop playing it. I think they built a really cool world and a really cool idea. So, yeah.
All right, I'll have to look into it. Maybe I'll pick it up if it's on sale or something like that.
It's cheap,
so.
by the way. It's cheap, too. They knew it. They knew it, $20 or something like that.
Okay, well, that says even better of it, so maybe I'll definitely look into it. All right.
Yeah.
Consoles too, or is this PC?
I'm playing on the PC. I think only PC right now. Yeah, Steam,
PC for now. Okay. All right. How many more games you got, Carlos?
I have none. I have just the movies and TV, if we can pull it off.
Okay, yeah, we can get it done. I gotta throw one more game in here real quickly. Let's talk about Darwin's Paradox. This is coming from Konami, which is a game we don't really talk about, or a name we don't talk about that often these days. Published by them, not made by them, made by another studio. This is a 2D, I guess, stealth platformer. I wasn't really aware of it having that much stealth when I got into it, but there is a fair amount of stealth. You play a octopus who has a friend octopus who is taken away by a big company who was going to turn your friend into food. A little bit of like Abe's Odyssey vibe there for anybody who remembers that, where like a lot of the game was about like food manufacturing and that kind of thing. So you are this octopus and you have various octopus powers. You can swim through the water. You can shoot ink sometimes. You can stick to certain walls, stuff like that. Grab things because you got 8 arms. And I think that the number one thing to know about Darwin's Paradox is the graphics are just like really good. Like it looks, I know, like, back in the day we used to always talk about the dream was like having Pixar level graphics in our games, and that was like at the time of like Toy Story 1. So even Pixar wasn't Pixar level graphics back then. But this genuinely looks like you're playing like a Disney Pixar movie where it's just colorful and smooth and bright, and it just looks like if you didn't know this was a game and you were just like walking past the TV, you would think it was like a Pixar movie. Like it looks super smooth. So that's really nice. I think so far the gameplay has been pretty good. I think all the backgrounds, great graphics, really great. It's just very lush looking. Everything just is like really a treat to look at. Gameplay itself is like totally fine. I think it's okay. I have had people tell me that it gets a little bit annoying and difficult in the middle sections. I haven't gotten that far yet, but the part I'm doing, it's like in the very opening section, you swim around, you see a moray eel, you hit a button and you can like camouflage just like a real octopus. Like you scrunch down and you change colors and you look like a rock on the ground and the eel leaves you alone, and then you keep going. And then each level that you get to has like some kind of a gimmick. So like at first you're just learning the moves. Later on there's like a pushing and a pulling. Later on you get dunked into like some radioactive goo and you glow for like 30 seconds, and there are these rats, and so like if you're glowing, the rats leave you alone. As soon as the glow goes out, the rats eat you, so you got to like time your running between the radioactive pools. The next level is like these hot and cold pipes where like you can touch the cold ones, not the hot ones, and they go back and forth. And so it's all about like managing your distance between the pipes as you're getting through the level. So each one presents like this own like little unique challenge, and they change up the gameplay enough to where I think it's pretty interesting. There are some elements where you are hiding from people, and I hear it gets more intense later on, where the stealth comes into play more further. I haven't gotten to the heavy stealth part yet, but I feel like so far it's just been kind of like really groovy, laid back, kind of fun, light, just kind of colorful character platform. I've been having a pretty good time with it, and the vibes are pretty good. Have not been really annoyed, have not really found it super difficult yet, so I'm kind of into it, but my shields are up. People tell me, just hold on, you'll get there, and I believe them. But I haven't got there yet. But so far, it's been thumbs up. So liking Darwin's Paradox a lot.
It looks like a Inside, but with an octopus.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. Like you're
going to the left to right, and then kind of very cool looking like levels and stuff.
Yeah, there's little pitfalls and traps and stuff, and yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty fair like Inside or something like that, but with an octopus and Pixar graphics, and not quite as dark, at least not yet. So yeah, but I'm digging it. It's pretty fun. It's a little something different. It kind of feels like a throwback in some ways, and I'm kind of enjoying it for that. But yeah, it's pretty good so far.
Check it out.
Okay. We're in the home stretch here, Carlos. We're going to just rush through this. I'll skip the preamble. TV and movies. What'd you watch this week? Anything good?
Well, I'm finishing up Silicon Valley because I'm rewatching that, and it's so like prescient. Is that the word? Prescient?
Yeah, it is.
because it's like about AI and a bunch of stuff right now too, and the big tech companies. And I'm like, oh, it's all the same. But they were doing that a while ago. They made that series a while ago. That's really great. I'm finishing that up, and I finally watched Bugonia.
Oh, I've heard about that. How was it?
Everybody's talking about it. The ending's spectacular. So
really?
I don't want to spoil anything, but like, it's a fun, interesting. Not fun really. It's like a dark-ish movie.
It looks kind of intense to me. You want to
it's not
real
as
quick
intense.
for people?
I don't.
Just watch it.
I don't. I really don't. I like the fact that I didn't have any idea besides the trailer.
Okay.
It's not as intense as the trailer makes it out to be. It's much more slow than that.
Okay.
But there's intense moments. It's like slow. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Whoa, that's crazy. Slow. Whoa, that's crazy. So I like the pace of it. And then the ending is like, hats off. Like I had no idea that was going to be the ending.
Wow. Okay.
And so I think it's worth the watch. So definitely do. And I liked it. And then the last thing I was going to say is I watched the Backrooms trailer like 1,000 times because I can't wait for that movie.
You're excited. Yep. I get it. That is Carlos the movie. Anything else?
That's it. I mean, I watched a million other things. We have no time.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so really quickly, shout out to a show I just discovered. Actually, the wife discovered this one. It's called Have I Got News for You? Have you seen this?
No, I have not.
It's on HBO Max or whatever they're calling it, but you can find it on other places. I think it's also on Netflix and a couple other places. It's basically like I don't want to say it's a game show. It's not really a game show, but they have a bunch of stand-up comedians, all people that you probably would recognize, and they hosted by Roy Wood Jr. And they bring news clips. It's kind of like the Daily Show in that they show you a news clip, they kind of make fun of it, but it's also kind of actually about the news as well. And so if you don't watch the news, I mean, it's not like as in-depth as the Daily Show is or was anyway, but it's like, you laugh a lot, but also you're like, oh, fuck, they did that this week? That sucks. And then they make a joke about it and you laugh, but then you're like, oh, wait, let's talk some more news. Oh, that sucks. And then you kind of go back and forth. It's a weird tone, and I'm not quite sure if they clearly want it to be comedy. They got comedians, but also a lot of it is just like people going, that sucks. And so it's like real life. It's also comedy. It's also not comedy. It's kind of a weird thing, but I did really like it though. The wife and I really liked it a lot. So we're going to watch some more. Check it out if you wish. Also started watching Star Trek Discovery. I know you're not much of a Star Trek guy, Carlos. Are you?
I tried Discovery, but I'll tell you my big problem.
What's your problem?
She cries all the time.
The main character?
This is the one with Charles, right?
Michael Burnham.
I said Charles.
It's a man's name. You were not too far off.
Michael cries every episode. And and also it's all about her. Like I don't want to ruin it for you, but I just feel like I had to stop because every episode felt like it was focused on her. Yeah. And I like Star Trek. I like the group, What's Strange New Worlds, I loved every episode of that. Like just wild and fun, and it's a group, and this one, it just really goes back to her so much that I had to bail.
That's pretty common thinking on that show, and I don't disagree with you. We just watched Starfleet Academy, and we really liked it like a lot. I know that show is going through it right now. They got canceled. Second season hasn't even aired yet. It's already filmed and it's already canceled. I know there's a big petition to kind of keep it going. I think Star Trek Academy is great, and I was sad. And so that was the first time that the wife really got in on Star Trek with me. Usually it's me and the son, but she wanted to watch this one, and we both really liked it. So let's watch something else that's kind of in the same bucket. I had never seen Discovery, didn't know anything about it other than it was, with starring that lady, I forget, Sonequa Martin Green, I think her name is. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is kind of in the same era, the same basic showrunner type or whatever. So let's go watch it. Yeah, I agree. It's weird. I think the wife and I are both kind of like, do we like this? Maybe we do, maybe we don't, because I think the people who were behind the show made a lot of mistakes, and I think it's kind of weird. I do agree with you that they do not focus on the ensemble enough. That is for sure. And the people who are in the ensemble so far, we're just in season 1. I think we're maybe 8 episodes in. We haven't even seen the first full season yet. A lot of the people are pretty unlikable. We're just like, why do they have so many boring white people? Why do they have so many angry people?
I know that one, what's it, the science officer guy, the tech guy, he's always mad.
Yes, there are people who are always mad. There's people who are always dour. It is like the most joyless ship in the Starfleet, Starfleet Armada. I'm like, man, it must suck to be on this ship. So that part, also, I will say, I do not like, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, I don't think it is because I think that they talk about this early in the show. But like, I didn't realize that Michael Burnham is supposed to be like Spock's sister, and I'm like, what? That's insane.
They go into it. They actually do the whole backstory. I've up to season 2 of that show, and they do a lot about that. Yeah,
they talk about that a lot. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. They didn't need to retcon that in because Spock has never talked about having a sister, and we've gotten Spock for like 60 years. We've talked to Spock's dad for decades. He's never mentioned a sister. This feels like just a very ham-handed retcon, and I'm just not into it. I kind of wish they hadn't done that. There's also a lot of questions about, you guys, this is supposed to be before the original series with Kirk, and you guys have all this technology that didn't exist in Kirk's time, so why did you guys do that? That seems really doesn't make sense. So there's problems with it, but also I think we're going to just give it a shot and see where it goes. People tell me it does get better, and it did run for 5 seasons, so I mean there must be something good about it.
It's crazy. I will say one minor spoiler that makes it better, if you want, real quick,
go ahead.
that they do run into the Strange New Worlds people.
Okay, that's cool. Looking forward to that because I've heard nothing but good things.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's kind of cool to see the captain there. Yeah.
All right, so we're kind of hanging in. We'll see where it goes. So anyway, and it's not a big win, but it's not a total fail either. So I guess jury's still out on that one.
All right, 4 minutes.
4 minutes to go. I think we did it, Carlos. We did it. All right, folks, this is a show. Before the closing music, please leave reviews, share it on social media. Most important of all, recommend the show to your friends because nothing beats good old word of mouth. Also, send us your questions and comments, SoVideoGamesPodcast@gmail.com, or on social media. It's me on Instagram and Blue Sky, BradGallaway, all A's, no O's. Carlos, what about you?
Glitch to the Ground on YouTube and TikTok. Really on YouTube because I'm doing a lot of those cool long-form videos.
Excellent. And then also the Discord. The Discord exists. We would love to have you on board, totally free of charge. Drop me a line. I'll get you an invite. And if you love the show, or if you also like sistersitegamecritics.com, kick us a buck. Help us keep it going. Patreon.com/the So Video Games Podcast. Every single dollar helps, and €1 helps out much more. And shout out, somebody just gave us a pretty big tip, actually. Thank you very much. I don't know if you wanted to keep that private or not, so I'll keep it anonymous for now. But thank you. Every single bit helps. Very, very grateful. And that's going to do it for episode 483, The Big Rush. Thank you again for joining me and Carlos here on the So Video Games Podcast. And I'll see you next week.
And I'll see you soon. But also, the name of the episode is called The Fast Fruckin Episode.
The Fruckin Fast episode.
Oh, that one. Either one. Go with it.
Bye.
Bye.